Good to go?
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Got
All right,
me.
here we go. Here we go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, episode 190. 190 of the SplashCast. I am your
190.
co-host, Reggie.
I'm your co-host, Norwood. Our powers combined. We are your HBCU homeboys. We are blessed and highly favored. Happy to be here. And let's get to it, my friend.
Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Y'all know what it is when we have our Monday Night Raw, HBCU news around the culture, followed by either football or basketball, whatever is in season. So basketball, of course. Then we'll round it out with some football news as well. If you have a chance, you're listening to the playback on Thursday, go back and listen to the mic check. Had a few things we talked about with our Braves update. Talked about Devers not playing first base in Boston. Interesting going on over there. And then,
Not
of
my
course,
problem.
the Utah Mammoths or Soakers, whatever you want to call it. With that being said,
Mammoth Soakers.
With that being said, let's get started, man. Let's get started with this
out of
HBCU
there.
news around the culture, man. Santonio Holmes, former Super Bowl champion and MVP, if I'm not mistaken, when they played against Arizona in 2008, has been hired as the next wide receivers coach. This continues the trend of former NFL players getting their coaching start in HBCUs, which we are all for. This is a callback to Central State, who re-upped their past coach. So this has been absolutely, I love this hire, man. I love it.
Yeah, this is another good one. There's not a better guy to learn from. And I like to see the investment in HBCUs. We ask for it every week, literally. We ask for it. And to see these players going back and starting their second act of their career and starting their second act giving to HBCUs. Truly appreciate it. This is what we love to see.
Fantastic, man. I'm looking forward to it. Of course, I believe they're CIAA in Central State CIAA. So they do have CIAA is tough. You know, we cover the CIAA during football season. They're tough conference. But they're on the right way, they're on the right track. On the right track for sure. Next up, Jackson State, back-to-back softball champions, SWAC champs, 2025 softball champions. So shout out to Jackson State. The momentum just keeps going in that athletic department. In the midst of anything else going. Yes, Antonio was tough, Steph. But in the Braves win. Woo!
Bravo win, baby! Woo! We needed that. Oh, I'm over here stressed.
Yes, sir. But back to the SWAC. Shout out to Jackson State, man. The athletic department has been a snowball rolling downhill. So shout out to them. Yep.
Yes, congratulations. And yes, they it's good to see these athletic departments for HBCUs get some good inertia, moving in the right direction, doing things that look to put them in the right position. Next up, speaking of the Blue Bloods, right to it.
Charlie Ward. See, this is why you have black athletes come back and lead HBCU athletic programs, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, hockey, whatever. Charlie Ward says he grew up on FAMU's campus. Both his parents went to FAMU, and he is now the basketball coach. But he has football ties. He played football at Florida State, and there was somebody who is also an alum from Florida State named Anquan Boldin. Anquan Boldin Jr. is a basketball player who played at Buffalo and now is transferring back home to FAMU to play for Charlie Ward. See how these things work when we stick together? I'm excited. I'm happy. Congrats to Charlie. Congrats to Anquan Boldin Jr. I expect big things in the SWAC and great basketball.
Yeah, this is another good one. And like you said, it's recycling the assets in the HBCU community. I was happy when Charlie said this is the FAMU job was the only job he was interested in. And to see Anquan Boldin Jr. going there is fantastic.
Yep.
Charlie, do your thing.
I
can't lie and say that it's going to be easy for you because it ain't. But I will say hard work and dedication.
You made a tough decision.
Yeah. And on top of that, man, they've we've talked about it at length on this podcast, and they've done pretty well considering all the little things they have going on. It is
Talking about FAMU?
yeah. It's impressive to keep roll. Like, it's one thing when it's easy and we winning and everything's milk and honey and the streets are paved in gold. But to be going through adversity and to find a way to make it work to the best of your ability when you're losing structural pieces of your athletic department is impressive. That's
Yeah. Jackson State is another one. They do the same thing.
HBCUs, right? HBCUs gonna find a way to recover. We're gonna keep on moving. And
We
yeah, we have
bang, bro. We were born in darkness, raised in it. By the time I was old enough to see the lights, it was blinding. We those guys, man.
Speaking of blinding lights,
shout out to UAPB. They are the HBCU national champions. The 2025 PGA Works Collegiate Championship goes to University of Arkansas Pine Bluff golf team.
Congratulations.
Yes. Now,
congratulations, man.
Because DEI has been a topic of conversation.
Oh,
we all talk about DEI on one side. We'll never talk about it on the other side. We'll never talk about it in baseball.
No, because that's IED. Inclusion, equity, and diversity. When we do it, it's cool when they do it.
Hey, man. But hey, no hate, UAPB. Get your money, because money goes back
to your championship, bro.
Yeah.
I really had it. Let's really have the conversation here. There are no black people on HBCU golf team. I also have to look at this from the scope of the coach.
I disagree.
I gotta win.
Yeah. I gotta raise
they gonna fire me if I don't win. So if this is the best team that I can recruit and put out there, then just like we always say, hey man, be better. Be delivered, be something.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, and nobody's gonna look back at the roster. Hey, it's the HBCU National Championship. They won it. Congratulations. Ain't got no place to hate here. And 100%. Then let's close it out with this.
Yeah, the Benedict college cheer and dance squads featured in the new Asia Wilson Nike ad. That was, I believe, was this the one that was directed by Malia Obama?
Correct.
Malia Obama. We saw a snippet last week, so this is a callback to this week, where they actually show the whole entire ad. And shout out to Malia Obama, shout out to Asia Wilson, shout out to South Carolina, shout out to Benedict, shout out to Nike for approving this, including everything that is about South Carolina. I think that this gets lost in the fact that this commercial highlighted every aspect of South Carolina and Columbia specifically.
Exactly.
In this ad, Benedict for sure has been
intentional and well thought out are the phrases that come to mind for me. It's everything is super intentional. You could have gotten a dance team from literally anywhere. I'm sure Nike has talent dance teams on call for these type of things. But intentionality in getting HBCU cheer and dance squads onto these commercials. When Asia talked about how her grandmother could not even have gone to USC, to now still at the same time make sure that even in this moment, I still have a responsibility to my people and to HBCUs. She knocking this out of the park. The only other person who should be knocked out of the park is the person who waited so long to make Asia a superstar. Better late than never, though. Congratulations and a fantastic, well done job.
Yep, 100%. And ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of our HBCU news around the culture. We're going to take a quick break now that we've gotten the seriousness and the responsibility out of the way. Ooh, New York. We are about to talk about some hoops. And I am about to pour me a little drizzy drink. Happy belated
I
Mother's
will.
Day to all. We did not
Yes.
wish that last week. Happy belated Mother's Day.
To all the
Man,
mothers
Tatum is
that
tough.
listen and support. Without you,
Love y'all.
literally, none of this would be
None of
possible.
us would be here.
Right. And on that, we will be right back, folks. Thank you. And always remember, like, follow, subscribe. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. And we always going to rock with you. We shall come right back.
Hey, SplashCast fans. Are you ready to take your obsession to the next level? Join the SplashCast community on Instagram and our own Facebook page for an immersive experience like never before. Get in on the action with lively discussions, fiery debates, and a community that's as passionate as you are. Our social media platforms are buzzing with the latest podcast news, exclusive updates, and behind-the-scenes sneak peeks. Don't miss out on the chance to connect with fellow SplashCast enthusiasts. Dive into the conversation, share your thoughts, and be part of something bigger. Find us on Instagram and Facebook, or go to www.splashcast.com to join now.
We are back, and Reggie's camera is back and better. How we doing? Oh, no, and the magic of unmute.
Oh yeah, you had muted. My bad. As you can't tell, I got a new camera stand, so the camera angle has changed, but it's a lot better. My camera, I was sitting like this the whole time with the way the camera was sitting last time. So
Your
now,
boy had that Cliff Harris.
now I'm finally
the next episode of Expeditions.
Ooh, that's an offensive foul. We are back with our hoop segment of episode 190 of the SplashCast. We got a lot to talk about today. Of course, the playoffs, the lottery, financial literacy.
What are you talking about, Dick? I can't even call him the king because he is, but bruh, yeah, signing from the GOAT.
Who's talking about?
Let's get into it. This. All right. Start with me because this is where I'm gonna start with. Let's get right to it. Todd Golden extended. Congratulations. Y'all see that?
Oh,
National
that's Todd Golden.
Gator. National champion Gator. He looks like he's 12 years old. He coaches like he's 89 years old. Gators win. You win a championship with a bunch of guys who are just tough, hard-nosed basketball players. You extend them. Congratulations. I'm happy about this. One of my teams has a coach that I like.
Yeah, man, well deserved. You win a national championship. You play the portal well. You have homegrown talent, and you're set up to win next year. They believe in what you're selling. Shout out to the University of Florida for locking them down too.
You're gonna lose a few of those national championship guys, but
that's why he's good with the portal.
Yes, exactly. That's the one thing. You're not depleted as before, where if you lose guys, it's over. Now it's like, nah, I can find some more guys, and I got a couple guys. So I'm super excited about that. This next thing I thought was a lie.
Oh, yeah. To go.
Jordan is joining NBC Sports team to do the NBA broadcast. I thought this was fake. I was sure this is fake. Mike doesn't need anybody's money. He doesn't like to talk to humans. And this is unbelievable. But I'm excited. And it's going to be petty, I'm sure.
I need to know what capacity. Are you going to be sideline reporting? Are you going to be in the studio guest?
No.
Are you going to be play-by-play? Like
Michael Jordan will never. He is never going to be Doris Burke or Michelle Tafoya. No, he's not going to be talking to coaches at halftime. He's going to be in a very comfortable place, lending his opinions on how these young men, will never be as good as me. And he probably will do it. I couldn't imagine him coming off the mountaintop to sit with you plebeians. So I assumed that, from his home and Jordan Studios, I'll probably do it from there. I got my own setup.
Yeah, they're building an all-star roster. Didn't they add Carmelo Anthony? And they've added a few people.
Jordan. It's the guy who never talks. And the greatest basketball player.
what I'm saying is they've adding Jordan is insane, but they have built up to this moment. It's almost like they had a plan and they introduced everybody on board today. I don't expect any more introductions for NBC Sports unless it's like Michael Wilbon.
You don't introduce anybody after Michael Jordan. He is you saw the top 75. All the rest of them guys down there being regular greats, and then Mike walked in. Everybody shut up.
74 people below him.
Right.
74. Top 75. Nobody.
Yeah, these are the most elite basketball players in the world. They'll say, "Hey, shut up, Mike." Here.
Shout out. Listen. We hate it. We lost NBC. I'm sorry. We lost TNT, and we loved it. But I see what I'm picking up what you're putting down, Adam Silver.
This is the
I
only
see
thing,
why you let it go.
This is the only thing that pushes ratings past Chuck and Shaq, because what is what is he going to say? I'm telling you, also fact check. As soon as you hear something crazy like this, go Google it. Just Google it. And if 4 or 5 different media outlets are saying it, then it's probably maybe true. And that's what I did. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, I thought y'all tried to trick me. This is real.
Yeah. I hope we get the documentary, Jordan, where he's looking at a tablet and y'all said he was gonna be better than me.
We definitely want Last Dance Jordan and all his true chaos. And I'm just better than you.
And have your son in the background chilling.
Bumping. See, that's the reason. Tooted and booted. Tooted and booted. Put that fruit back. Why is there so much watermelon in here? In much better news, billionaire and former NBA player Magic Johnson and WNBA superstar Angel Reese have launched a financial literacy program for high school seniors in Baltimore. Shout out to number one, Angel Reese taking care of home. And shout out to Magic Johnson becoming a member of the Washington Commanders. Well, I was about to call them Washington Football Club. The Commanders, and immediately starting to influence that city, those neighborhoods.
That area.
Yes, congratulations. Because, I mean, it is one of our cities, and everything we can do to support and uplift the DMV is fantastic. What you got?
Shout out to the publicists. Because I can't imagine outside of like a special event where these two would sit down and have a conversation to get to this point.
Oh,
so
no.
What I'm saying, they're in certain basketball. Let me finish. They're in certain basketball settings, but for somebody to say, I want to do a financial literacy course, and they say, well, hey, normally how it works is get your people in touch with my people, or you pitch that idea to them, or you say that you're working on it, and they say, I want to be a part of it. But normally the publicists and your managers have to make that happen. There's a lot of stuff that's talked about. So shout out to both teams recognizing the opportunity. Right. Yeah. And again, shout out to Angel Reese for doing things for Baltimore. Shout out to Magic Johnson for ingratiating himself in the DMV. This is fantastic. And you know me, I'm all for build our own culture. We don't need nobody else. We $1.something trillion in spending power.
I love her emphasis on Baltimore. I do also see that she's not Caitlin Clark, and that's perfectly fine because she's Angel Reese, and Angel Reese is a star. She is a super mega star, and I like how she's being very tactful and intentional about aligning herself with, I would consider, old money black stars. Shaquille O'Neal, Allen Iverson with Reebok, Magic Johnson. She's very intentional about putting herself in the greats. And I think that there is a parallel here. Like, for all intents and purposes, her in college, she was literally Magic Johnson as Caitlin Clark was Larry Bird. So this, to me, makes absolute perfect sense. And there is not a person who can get you more rich than old Magic.
Yeah, Magic gonna recognize an opportunity, boy.
And if he ain't gonna recognize, he will literally make one out of nothing. Oh yeah, we can do that. Speaking of making magic out of nothing, we didn't want to bury the lead anymore. Your Dallas Mavericks are the draft lottery winners. We don't know how this happened.
Yes, we do.
Okay, I'm not getting into the conspiracy theory. They had the longest odds ever to actually, I think, win, or their top 5. I know the Hawks are in there as well with the Reese Shea pick last year. But the Dallas Mavericks, which we would assume to take Cooper Flagg in this number 1 pick, is correct.
We would assume he was at he was there. He was at the lottery.
He's packing his stuff up, going to Dallas right now. I'm not even talking. Hey, don't call me. Do not call me. Do not call me. Do not call me.
I knew it wasn't going to be Philly. I knew Atlanta was going to get 13. They told us we was going to get 13 like 6 weeks ago. You knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, but you still had like that little percentage that it might not work out in our favor. And let's be real. Things don't always work out in our favor. So I agree with you at the 98%, 98 point whatever percent chance of us doing it. But being a Hawks fan, excuse me, you know that is also at least relatively reasonable for our station in life. I'm happy that pick conveyed. That gives the Hawks 2 first-round picks. When at one point we just feel like we're just never gonna have control of our picks or have a pick. But there are a lot of things on this board that are interesting to me. San Antonio with 2. That pick has to be for sale for Giannis, right?
Okay. I got a lot of stuff in my head about this entire draft lottery.
Yeah.
And that caught me off guard. Yes, because they have 2 and 14 and all the assets in the world and all the money in the world and a new coach and a new philosophy with a very healthy and rested Wemby. You have the opportunity if you're San Antonio to get Giannis and still be able to trade even more assets and get KD. And you would have, I don't know how many 7-footers that is on the court.
I don't know if you could have Fox, KD, and Giannis and anything left.
Well, there's an odd man out there. And the odd man is the guy that you've been saying for a long time. I don't need Fox. I just need you to. I need a game manager. I need you to pass the ball around.
I agree with you, but I also forgot that Fox may be untradeable at this point. You know, there's that gap where you can't. Yeah, where you once you trade for a player, they sign a contract. You can't trade.
Cool.
I'll have to look.
Cool. Fine. Fox, Wemby, and Giannis is a very good consolation prize.
But the other part is you're not going to be untradeable for the whole season by the trade deadline. You could get to getting. So
what I'm interested to see is who you get rid of if you make this trade, because you can't assume that San Antonio is going to stay there. They have all the young assets that they could possibly need. There's nothing else. Maybe a power forward or something. Maybe you could get like an Ace Bailey as a scorer, but they have all the scoring possible.
I'm doubling down on Giannis first, because Giannis and Wemby just they
no paint shots.
They balance out all of that. Carl Anthony Towns and Julius, cool story. Dallas and whatever iteration of Lively and AD and Cooper Flagg.
Get the hell out of here. Both y'all can go.
Right. But I mean, Eastern Conference a little bit less. That's more postseason. But regular season, oh, it's stressful. Boy, let me tell you, all y'all who thought y'all had an answer. Oh,
Lakers.
Yes. Lakers. That's worst case. This is worst case scenario for the Lakers. The Lakers could have LeBron and Luka and still be fighting.
Okay.
Hate to see it.
So we talked about the Spurs. They can get Giannis. Cool story. This is why I said this has to be rigged. Has to be. And I know nobody wants to fall to it. This is all fodder. It's funny. Bro, 1.8 chance that you just traded Luka, your franchise player, and then you luck up and get the number 1 pick to get Cooper Flag, who is the best prospect since well, I guess Wemby. But before Wemby,
Yeah, but now. Yeah.
Ooh, let's go New York. I'm surprised. Another backstory of this.
Oh
no.
no.
Oh no, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to change the screen real quick. It looks like Jayson Tatum may have just
Nope, don't say it. We don't say it. We don't say it.
Injured as a serious injury. In this game, it's 2:58 left in game 4. The Knicks are up 113-104. Jayson Tatum is on the ground, writhing in pain with seems to be a calf injury. And he was having the game of games. I think he's at like 30 plus points right now.
Jeez.
Actually, I can look at the box score.
Yeah. Let's go back to the lottery, man. I don't.
Well, we'll keep you guys updated.
Yeah.
Tough. That's a tough one. Back to the lottery. All right, back to the lottery. Where were we? Let's go here. All right, so the two teams that you pretty much assumed were tanking, and I mean one of them was blatantly tanking in Utah Jazz, and the second team was the Washington Wizards. Both of those teams blatantly tanking have the two highest chances to get the first and second seed, get number 5 and 6 respectively. That to me tells me more. It makes me think more of conspiracy versus the Mavericks getting the number 1 pick. Because Adam Silver has told y'all from the get-go, we are not rewarding tanking.
And if you look at the picks, right. Best thing you can do is just win as many games as you can. That tanking don't mean nothing. You'll take. Oh no.
Oh, yep. Yep.
Oh yeah, jeez.
Damn,
Thoughts and prayers. This is unfortunate for Utah. Danny Ferry basically hid Lauri Markkanen and John Collins trying to get Cooper Flag. That did not work. As much as I think that Danny Ferry has done an excellent job with, making it happen with that team, and it's still a strong collection of assets over there. I'm not going to say that because he's still got all the Mitchell draft picks and all of the not the Carl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert draft picks. So he has a collection of draft picks. With that being said,
what you're saying,
yeah, I mean, maybe now. I mean, you're not moving to 1, and if you're not moving to 1, then I think that two through about 6 is dealer's choice. What does your team really need? And then I look at somebody like the 76ers. I'm probably trying to trade out of this pick. And I don't know what they got, but I mean,
trade out and get what?
I would be interested in who do they have at the 4?
Paul George.
No, Paul George at the 3. Let's look. Sixers depth chart. Because I mean, Yabusele. I might be interested in.
Cool story.
I mean,
it's a feel-good story.
Yeah, but I mean, I might be interested in a John Collins or a Lauri Markkanen in Philly, and I can move some of these other guys around.
I'm more interested in what Charlotte does because Charlotte has 2 pieces with Brandon Miller and LaMelo. They need a big man. And that Duke guy's he's coming back right though, right?
They technically don't need a big man. They just need
they got Mark Williams. They need a 4 though, don't they?
No, they got PJ Washington. He's not, I mean, not PJ Washington. The Hornets,
wow.
the Hornets are more just a bad basketball team than a bad roster. The roster doesn't suck. Now, Miles Bridges is who I was thinking of.
Yes.
I think that they probably go after a guard because I'm okay with Miles Bridges because I don't think that the guy who you draft is going to be better than Miles Bridges next year, and you have to start winning. You need more winning players than assets. You have to get your culture to somewhere near respectable. And right now, you're just not respectable. You're just a really bad team that flounders. And if you continue to be this bad, you're going to have to trade LaMelo.
So then who moves out? Who moves up to the? You said earlier that you're looking to move out of that pick if you're San Antonio to get Giannis. I mean, Milwaukee, sure. But
yes,
if there's a lottery team here, who would move? I look for New Orleans to try to move up.
If I'm New Orleans, I'm
because
definitely
you blow it up. Like you, I mean, it's nothing.
Oh no,
there.
I'm not blowing it up. I'm getting rid of the extras. McCollum
and the Pips.
McCollum, you can go. Zion, you can go. McCollum, I'm doing you a favor. Let's get you to a contender again so you can try to win some games at the end of your career. Zion, you've been an albatross for way too long. At this point, I just need you to go. You still got Trey Murphy. You still got DeJounte. There's a team in there if everybody can be healthy and you can get some of these assets back from what you lost with the new GM who's probably trying to find his own set of players instead of. So, yeah, Olynyk can go. Bruce Brown can probably go. I like Jordan Hawkins as just a pure shooter. I would love to have him on the Hawks if at all available.
Never go to the well too much.
Right. And he's you're right. They probably ain't making no more deals with us. Good point. You know what? Scratch that.
And then the rest of the teams are in purgatory. You got Brooklyn, Toronto, Houston, Portland, Chicago, Atlanta.
Brooklyn gonna try to get back. Brooklyn should be a safe haven for some players who are. They're another team that needs to just get back to winning. You can say that, hey man, we're trying to get all these assets. No, you need to find some good players so that you just.
Let's say how and why. Who would go to Brooklyn?
People who want money. That Daniel Gafford just said, I want to be paid like a center. I guess they got Claxton, so it's a little tricky. But there are going to be guys who just want money. The Ty Jeromes of the world. You might be able to go to Brooklyn and start. I think that the Cam experiment, I think he's too small. So, yeah, and
Ty Jerome starting. Y'all know I'm not a believer, but
I mean, what else you got?
Get your money.
Right. The
Raptors.
The Raptors
That's why they're purgatory.
The Raptors are a sneaky pick. If it's me, I'm going and getting one of these 8-foot centers. I mean, 8-foot point guards. That's the only thing that they really need. Now, I could see where maybe RJ Barrett is out of there. But I don't know where and for what.
What if he ends up back in New York? You have to trade for him, which they're not going to do. I know. But, I mean, a 2. They need a 2.
Right. Rockets. That's a solid pick for a team that needs. But that could also, that's probably a trade mixer to me. That could probably get them
at a
over
10.
The hump.
That gets you somebody. I don't know if they draft here. I think they probably trade. If Jalen Green, which we'll talk about, no, we won't. Jalen Green, if he is available as rumored to be, you package him with the 10th pick. You could go get Giannis. I mean, you have the ability to go get Giannis or go get KD.
I saw this. We ain't gonna stay long. Jalen Green, Reed Shepherd, Cam Whitmore, Trae Young.
What do you do with Van Fleet?
Don't care. I mean, as good as Freddie is, he ain't Trey.
I mean, that's I would yes, possibly.
And
I
like
would
for
need
us,
you still need a point guard.
right. Hold on. You talking about Atlanta?
Yeah.
Yes, you would have to get a point guard, but that
We have not really done.
yes.
Other than
And
Trey, we have not signed a backup point guard. Anybody else?
we don't even say that out loud. But just Cam Whitmore, Jalen Green, and Reed Shepherd. That's a lot to say no to. None of those guys.
And I think what you said, it was 2 first-round picks too.
Right.
Which at that point, especially if Trey don't want to be there, you got to entertain it.
Want to be there now? You got at least. That's a lot to get for a guy who we're not sure if we can win with. Now, the other part about that is you are also really you might be giving Trey a championship. That's the scary part. Because you know what? I'm just getting off Fred. I'm getting off Fred VanVleet. Trey is a new point guard. I might be interested in an RJ Barrett. Or also,
no, you nerding out right now. Yeah, you nerding out.
You
had to go down a rabbit hole.
There is just an infinite way for them to rebuild the backcourt. And Sengun and Trey, you are just keep your head on a swivel because the ball will be moving. And you just have to be open.
Yep.
And Amen does the same thing that Dyson does for Trey. Who's the guy who I need to guard? I got it.
Yeah. It's interesting. They got the places. The lottery is going to be an interesting place. There'll be, just like the NBA, NFL draft, there will be thousands of trade scenarios that will come out. I'm sure that Nora will keep all of you abreast of every single one.
Absolutely. I've already started looking at mock drafts. Y'all know Reggie's NFL draft, Norwood's NBA draft. Let's talk playoffs though. First of all, I would like to congratulate myself. Shout out to my profile Mike Jones that bet me that the Knicks would lose 2 games at the Garden. I just won myself $50. I'm going to take one moment here while we are live and run me my bread. Run me my bread. Cash App or Zelle. Sometimes you just gotta be paying. It feels good. It feels good to win though. Let's look here. Let's start on the right side this time. Cavs are down 3-1 against the Pacers.
Down, and they out. It's over with. They lost by 50, or they were down by 50. Interesting game. The Pacers, we told y'all, they're the Pacers. They score a lot of points.
Literally, they are their name.
What's funny is we're starting to get into like the second and third generation of like team reputation. So the Pacers before Reggie Miller were just the Pacers. The Bulls before Michael Jordan were just the Bulls, etc. So now that you're into like their OGs now, the Pacers are starting to take on the personality of old Reggie Miller and just being annoying, especially Tyrese Halliburton. He's being annoying. Benedict Mathurin being annoying. He got ejected. DeAndre Hunter took the bait, and then the Pacers blew him out. Now, DeAndre Hunter, I will say, you can't push somebody to the floor, talk all that trash, and I see you after the court, and then scored 0 points after that. He scored 0 points in 5 fouls.
I'm going to tell y'all, look back on that trade. And when the trade happened, they won all them games in a row. Everybody was happy. 5 free throws ain't going to cut it, bro. 5 free throws ain't going to cut it. Now, I will say that the matchup that I thought was going to be tricky for a long time is just as tricky as I thought it was. Evan Mobley, 10 points, 5 rebounds. Pascal Siakam, 21 points, 6 rebounds. As good as the Cavs are, Pascal's ability to score more than Evan Mobley puts them in a very bad spot. because your second best player.
Was it 2018 Hawks vibes? Is what everybody's saying?
No, I say less of that because they could all give you about 15, 16 points.
Who?
Everybody on the Hawks. I'll give you 15. Millsap give you 15. T give you 15. Carr will give you 5 threes. And DeMar Carroll will be out there doing something. He give you 10.
Trash man.
Right. But
he's Isaac Okoro.
I don't know who that's an insult to. Somebody should be offended. Or
not.
Ty Jerome, 7 points.
Told y'all. Patrick Beverly tried to tell y'all about Ty Jerome. Slow feet don't eat. When you get out there, you got to play the same team over and over again, bro. They picked on Ty Jerome the whole game. They picked on him, and then Miles Turner just got scorching hot from 3. He was shooting it from Curry distance.
Hey, Pacers, y'all better pay Miles Turner. I don't know how this works. Actually, I do know how this works. Pascal gets his money. Turner gets his money. Tyrese gets his money. Neesmith and Nembhard, y'all just become one person. And the other part, Obi Toppin. I told y'all last week, I said Obi is good enough to get you some decent points in the game. Gave you 20.
Hustle man. Now that's inexcusable for Cleveland, but hustle man. Cleveland is also out because your boy has the ankle injury, and I'm not gonna question his dedication to the game.
Yeah,
Donovan
he had
Mitchell,
21.
But he was out the whole second half.
Right. I mean,
and that's when when he didn't come out in the second half, they went on like a 30-2 run or something like that. I was like, oh yeah.
This is the thing. Like looking at this team, because we believe them to be going home at this point. I don't even know what you get rid of.
Who? Cleveland?
On Cleveland.
You got to upgrade the 3 position. However you do that.
You can't. Oh, that's Hunter. That's your 3 upgrade.
Hunter is not a starter.
You're not going to be able to get a guy better than Hunter, not with what you're paying everybody else. That is your 3 upgrade. He might be on the bench. Cool story, even for us. Even
Garland may have to go. Garland is the weak link here, and I know he's hurt. That toe, he can't even plant. He falls to the ground every time he goes left.
And what do you think? You just get more of a traditional facilitating point guard?
I don't know what you get a 3 for sure.
Well, what you go? Okay, so if you get a 3, conversely, you're putting all of the facilitation onto Darius Garland, almost individually, because there's nobody else on this roster that can help anybody get a shot. So
what you just said, if you get a 3, you get rid of Garland.
Yes. I mean, yeah. So I meant Donovan Mitchell. If you get rid of Garland, then Donovan Mitchell has to become your primary creator. I don't know if that's what he is best at.
They said Ty Jerome starts. That's where you need to upgrade. I mean, yeah. I mean, he's the starting 3. Ty Jerome can't start.
No, Strus.
Okay, sure.
But you can't. But what I'm saying is
same thing.
The guy who's better than DeAndre Hunter is very expensive.
Think so?
Hell yeah, that's the guy. Those guys are the $40 million guys. Pascal, I mean,
you could always go sign LeBron.
Oh, you
Lulu. I don't know.
Lulu, yeah, you shooting all right. You're shooting them drugs. Hey, but you know what? Also, not my problem. It does look like we're going to the 90s. Looks like we're probably going to get Pacers versus Knicks, as the Knicks have just defeated the Boston Celtics and now have taken a 3-1 lead in this. This is another team. Number one, congratulations to the Knicks. And congratulations to me winning $50 because I have good common sense my parents imparted on me. With that being said, I kind of felt this from the beginning. Shout out to, I talked to Mike a little earlier. when they hit all them threes in the first half, and I was like, bro, y'all only down 10. And they're shooting the cover off the basketball. I knew that.
Who are we talking about? We're talking about
the
Boston
New York
and New
Knicks.
York.
Yes, the New York Knicks. New York Knicks shooting the cover off the basketball. I mean, the Celtics shooting the cover off the basketball, and you're only down 10. You're in a really good place. Now, it's unfortunate that it looks like Jayson Tatum has a pretty serious injury.
But wheeled out on the ground, couldn't put no weight on it. It's a lower leg injury, lower calf area. We kind of know what it is. We just don't want to say.
That is worst case scenario because those are long-term rehab injuries. You already were kind of looking at probably having to move Drew.
They already said it. They released a statement saying that they will have to move players. They're already looking at moving players.
Yeah.
Like, bro, they are in the playoffs right now.
And
looking at moving.
And the crazy part about it is, remember, they have an ownership change. These people might really just be trying to strip this thing down and do what the Mavericks did until they got lucky. But this team could look very interesting, is a way to put it. $500 million. Yeah.
For the Celtics. And I don't want to bury the lead. The Knicks are playing outside of that last game where the Celtics just got hot. The Knicks in this game, the Celtics were hot. I mean, Derek White came out 5 for 5 from 3, and they were still in the game. Like, the Knicks are playing well, and as much crap as we give Tibbs, I mean, it's whatever he's doing now is working. Unfortunate for the Celtics, though. It is the worst case scenario. It is Jayson. Hold on, because you said a lot. It's Jayson Tatum. Whatever happens, it looks like he's going to be out for 2025, 2026. You're probably going to get off Porzingis anyway. You were going to move him anyway because he can't stay healthy. And then Drew Holiday makes a lot of money, and at this point, he's a defensive 2 because you give the ball to Derek White all the time. So you were trying to consolidate to go down to Derek White, Tatum, and Jaylen Brown, and then figure everything else out.
Right.
Tatum is out for next season, and Jaylen Brown is getting shot and getting injections into his knee. And as we know, as Falcons fans,
PRP, baby,
the last step.
Right. That is the platelet rich. We know about it because that is the old DeAndre Hunter, Cam Reddish knee. Is there a world where you trade Jaylen Brown as your most valuable asset?
I think everything's on the table now. I just said you were about to build around 3 players, and now 1 player is out for 14 months.
Could you imagine
what we think it is?
Imagine Jaylen Brown to the Knicks. I mean, not to the Knicks. No, that's not. To the Magic.
You could get Franz. You could get, and there's your Porzingis replacement. Probably get like a Jonathan Isaac. You could try to get a couple picks from somewhere, and you could just mail in the season for next year.
Right. And then start fresh with Tatum. You're gonna pay Tatum $54 million next year. Play or don't play. 58 the next year.
I mean, yeah, you can't. Ain't nobody gonna take that contract now. You're stuck with Tatum, and I hate to say stuck because Tatum had like 40 points, he had like 30 points this game. He was killing it, and quietly as kept, Tatum has become one of the better rebounders in the league. He is averaging 10 to 12 rebounds.
But he has to, because if not him, then who? He's kind of like, he got the same thing that Josh Hart does is what he has to do. Because if I don't get if Josh don't get the rebounds, Carr Anthony Towns can't get all of them. Congratulations to the Knicks. Maybe we see the Mark Jackson Eastern Conference Finals of Knicks versus Pacers, which will be fantastic for all of us old people.
And it's gonna be chippy. That's what I like. Right. And I think I've gotten to the point now, my last point. Because they're annoying, you notice like Reggie Miller don't really have a lot of people. He's known as the guy that's clutch, and he's known as the guy that, antagonized, but don't nobody really fuck with Reggie Miller.
No.
And I think the Pacers are on that way too. Don't nobody really fuck with the Pacers. Like nobody really like Benedict Mathurin is an antagonizer.
And I like them all individually. Like their team is built on being a good team and good depth. I appreciate those teams infinitely more than the superstar heavy. Like, all right, we're just gonna win with these 3 guys or these 2 guys.
Yeah,
Because
Halliburton. It's Halliburton.
Yeah. And Halliburton, he's coming into his own right now. And y'all called him overrated at the exact wrong time. Overrate that.
Overrate that. So, but it's gonna be fun. I'm not gonna lie and say I'm not happy. I can't say that I'm sad that we're not getting, Cleveland, Boston. I'm happy that we're getting Knicks, Pacers.
I'm
as
way
much
more
as
happy
you may
about
not
that.
like the Knicks, or you may whatever about Knicks fans make basketball fun. They make basketball
There's a chance that the Pacers could. I mean, because I know I'm kind of jumping the gun here. I think the Pacers are probably better than the Knicks. They're gonna score more points. And once again, Knicks, you're gonna have trouble. Miles Turner gonna give Carl Anthony. I mean, yeah, he gonna give Carl Anthony Towns everything he needs. That's actually gonna be a battle of bigs.
Well, actually, I want to jump to. Pardon me. I have a whole conspiracy theory that I've been wanting. Not conspiracy, but hope that I've been wanting. There is a chance that Ant Edwards gets his first championship this year, because the Pacers and the Knicks, if the Pacers beat the Knicks, you would have the Pacers in the finals.
You would assume.
You assume.
Knicks fans don't get mad. If you do, we don't care.
Or okay, you have the Knicks too. But whatever, you have one of them. OKC is in a dead heat with Denver right now.
You cannot have Julius play the Knicks in the finals.
Listen, this is where I'm going. You have OKC in Denver, and not the Pacers. I meant to say the Knicks. You have OKC in Denver at 2-2, and it is 2-2 with 2 overtime games and 2 game-winning shots. So it's not like there's a lot of difference in between the two. If Denver can beat OKC and Minnesota can beat Golden State without Curry, they're trying to get it done very quickly. At this point, you would have Minnesota versus Denver, and I think Minnesota matches up well with Denver. And if Minnesota can beat Denver, it would be Minnesota versus the Knicks, which would be the greatest finals of recent history, because you have Carl Anthony Towns and Julius Randle, 2 players that were traded for each other. You have Dante DiVincenzo, who is part of the Villanova 4 that they traded, going back against New York, who also had smoke with Jalen Brunson's daddy. You then have...
They got past that, though, allegedly.
Yeah, whatever. You get everything you get past until you get to the finals. When the finals is on again,
I'll allow it.
Your daddy's soft. Your daddy is soft. I don't care.
And he can be slapped.
Right. So you have... Then you haven't even gotten to the point of Ant or Mike Conley or New York getting something. Or all of those things. There's so many storylines with Minnesota
dropping threes. I mean,
there's so many storylines. Tibbs being vindicated, getting all the flack from everybody, and y'all think it's just us. No, it's not just us. Getting the flack from everybody. Carl Anthony Towns being called soft and then getting a ring before Jimmy Butler, or having the possibility of getting a ring before Jimmy Butler, would be hilarious. The storylines for Timberwolves, I talked myself into it. I want Timberwolves Knicks in the finals. I don't know how it happens. I don't know how. I don't know where. I don't know what. But that's what I would love to see.
I think that I have to look, but that's one of the better matchups, especially since our team ain't in it. Yeah, give me a storyline. Right now, Timberwolves and Golden State playing. They're tied 5-5. This is no Steph. They need to win this today.
Ant said it though. Ant said it though. He said it last game. He said it to Gary. He said, "Look, I know y'all trying to get to game 6 and bring Steph back." He was like, "That's the plan." And he was like, "Hell no."
Right, and that ain't no secret either. We knew what it was.
No.
That's kind of it's interesting. We got to see how that plays out. And OKC and
Julius out here
Denver
cooking triple-double last game.
right. All shoulders. As soon as you try to play defense, get out of there, young man.
That Draymond talk
OKC
out of there.
and Denver, it's just going to be a dogfight. We thought that it's funny how you have two teams that basically ran away with the regular season, get to the playoffs, and kind of turn into. I don't want to call they both turn into pumpkins. Let's be real. They're at least not who we thought they were. Also,
so
Memphis,
as we talked about
Memphis and Miami, y'all goose cooked.
Yeah, we talked about all the teams trying to get Giannis. If OKC loses versus Denver, I think you have to probably consolidate. I like Jalen Williams. Is it Jalen Williams? Yes. I like him. He's SGA's best friend. They talking, but he in this second round struggles. When they force him to be the man, like Denver did in the overtime game when SGA had no points, no rebounds, no assists, and they just said you have to go to Jalen Williams. OKC isn't as efficient. They aren't as good.
I'm gonna tell you this, and I have to bring this up specifically because of this organization. You could trade Jalen Williams and he goes somewhere, and you can't have another James Harden.
You can't lose a KD. You can let James Harden go if KD don't walk. What makes the losing James Harden worse was that KD left literally 2 years later.
Yes. But
2 years later.
even if KD stays, they're like Jalen is good as a second option. There's potential with more shots, it's more points. If he scores more points, he is a problem.
So you may not have to lose Jalen Williams, but you got a lot of players that you can piecemeal together to go get something.
I mean, Caruso. I'm purging the bench first. I think that I could find more tertiary players.
Purge Caruso. You can't. Well, you could purge some of the bench. You're not gonna purge Caruso. He's on a decent contract, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, but what I'm saying is some of those somebody's got to go, and I'm not getting rid of the good players this early in their career because we've had that problem happen before, and the guy go to be one of the most prolific scorers of all time. I don't have a good answer.
He's the same guy that comes up short in every game, every important game in the playoffs.
Okay, but potentially you could be OKC.
Since he was at OKC, you forget that he did that at OKC too. Against Miami in the finals, he was nowhere to be found.
But the thing about it is you could potentially have the same situation happen again, and everybody be like, I'm out of here. And then you look like the cursed franchise. You look like the starter kid. But that's neither here nor there. We got plenty of time to see. It should be very interesting. And I think that's all we have for basketball right now. You got any final words for us?
No. Daniel Dyson should have been Defensive Player of the Year. I'm going to say that till next season.
Right.
Timberwolves, hey, if Atlanta can't win, somebody Atlanta's own can win. That's why we going for Ant, or I'm going for Ant. Right. So, Ant-Man, do your thing. Sucks that a lot of our players that are getting older are getting hurt. LeBron with the MCL, Curry with the strain. I mean,
hey, man, that's what happens as you age, bro. That's life.
That's why people retire. But
which is something else that potentially we getting closer and closer to it. And it's going to be sad to see some of our guys go.
Flag in Dallas with AD. NBA trying to save Nico.
Tried. Successful.
What if Nico trades the first pick?
It ain't safe. It ain't safe. It ain't safe.
Chaos.
Yeah.
Chaos.
Nah, it ain't gonna be chaos. You're gonna have to move with security for the rest of your natural born life, my friend. They are going to be looking for you, and not in a good way. They're gonna be looking to end you, my brother. But with that being said, we are coming right back to do football and have a couple laughs. Y'all take a quick break. I think Reggie's gonna make a quick drink, and we'll be back here.
You leaving me hanging? You not about to drink?
No, I'm not drinking today. I drank all weekend. Ain't doing it. My boy was in town from London, and we saw all of Houston this weekend. Today, I'm peaceful.
Then I'm not making another drink. I ain't drinking by myself.
Oh, if you don't drink by yourself, that's fine. Me, my favorite drinking partner is myself. He always ready.
Y'all, we'll be right back.
Hey, SplashCast listeners, are you ready to dive into some exciting opportunities with us? The SplashCast is now open for brand partnerships, advertisements, and sponsorships. We want your business to make a splash with our audience. Picture your brand reaching all of our loyal and passionate listeners who love our weekly content. From HBCU news around the culture to our splashes of the week, we cover it all. If you're looking for a dynamic platform to showcase your products or services, look no further. Reach out to us at diveteammedia@gmail.com. That's diveteammedia@gmail.com. Or visit our website at www.thesplashcast.com for more details.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And it's time to talk football.
No, it is not. It is time to talk young and restless as the world turns. Drama in Chapel Hill.
You are petty.
I'm not petty. Listen, man. There's a listen. When let's just get into it because I got jokes. Listen,
And this is what Reggie talking about right here.
So Jordan Hudson, Bill Belichick's handler, has been banned.
Despicable.
Has been banned or unbanned. And I ain't got no sympathy. She wore a 28-3 shirt and then posted it and laughed. Was banned and unbanned by the University of North Carolina. There have been multiple reports by credible journalists, one being Pablo Torre, that the University of North Carolina hates Jordan Hudson. For those that don't know, she has inserted herself as the leader of all Bill Belichick's affairs. She has nixed the hard knocks for UNC football.
I think that was a good decision.
Fair. You can think that's a good decision all you want to. Jordan Hudson should not be making that fucking decision. Let me tell you that right now. If we gonna get on the Panthers owner for drafting Bryce Young because his wife likes him better than CJ Stroud, then we got to get on Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson for inserting yourself in places that you really should not be.
I'm conflicted because I do see she seems to bring a different level of attention to Bill Belichick, a guy who for the vast majority of his career has had really nothing to say to the media. But I don't hate all of her moves. The reporter asked a question that could potentially be problematic. Her answer was, "Hey, don't answer that." If you're looking for a lady, you want a lady to be like, you know what? If you really want your lady, you want your lady to be like, to protect you. And she looks like she's done that a couple times. I think her age is
that was my next question for you.
And her age and visibility, I think, are the bigger issues instead of her actions.
If she was 55,
nobody care.
Instead of 25,
they would care less.
Nobody.
Well, let me stop. Go ahead.
Why? Because he's 73. He's 73. She's 20 something. If she was 53, 63, 43, I ain't gonna say 33, 43, 53, 63.
I mean, 33.
I
would
think
be
all
better.
of this would be I think all of this would be respected more. I do think that she gets a lot of flack because of her age. But to me, even if she was 43 years old, 53 years old, her telling that we don't want hard knocks
she's two strikes instead of one strike. She is young and visible. Visible is problematic enough. Young and visible is, and it's also,
and she seems to be an asshole. She seems to be a little bit of a dick.
Did you not think that she was going to be a dick if she's dating Bill Belichick?
Fair.
I mean, even to the people who Bill, I think genuinely likes. I think he's still a dick to those people. Probably, so many jokes here. Her being young and visible is what makes it really tough. If she was older and invisible, it would be fine. If she was younger and I think even invisible,
it would be fine.
It would.
But the thing is, this is also Bill stepping out of his comfort zone. So he ain't never coached college, and he's going to coach college for the first time in his NIL era, which there is no comfort zone here. This wild west. So
and it's also Bill's lack of being in the media, and it's a very strange place to find Bill Belichick of all people. I think
as a football coach or with a young woman, because this is not
talk much to be doing this. It just looks a little peculiar. I think if another coach did this, who, like, if your boy did this, Lane Kiffin did this, nobody would care. You'd be like, oh, this is Lane Kiffin doing Lane Kiffin stuff. But Bill Belichick, who's been so tight-lipped about basically everything, to be in the media all the time, and it's not about football, is wild. This is 2025 crazy.
I just hope he doesn't pull a Bobby Petrino. You remember Bobby? It was on the motorcycle. Bill.
Hey, you better not have another one. You better not have another one. If you got Bill, take your W.
Let her do her thing, and y'all do y'all thing. Now, Bill, what you can't have is her pull a Dan Mullen. If y'all remember, there's a callback here where Dan Mullen's wife used to mouth kiss all the players at Florida.
Right.
You can't do that, Bill. She's 23.
I bet you Bill won't do that.
She's 23. Dan Mullen's wife was at least 40.
Right.
Yes, 50. So
too freaky. Hey, y'all got to be a little bit less freaky, bro. Y'all got to hold y'all.
Shout out to Rodney. Shout out to the world on that reel we posted about nasty man Justin Tucker getting cut. There's a lot of freaky frogs out in the air.
That's what that frog was. I just got it.
Freaky frogs. It's crazy.
Speaking of people getting it,
freaky
Fran
frogs
Brown,
too, because this man doesn't take baths. Remember, Fran Brown signs with an NIL agency.
Take bags though. Yes, he signs with an NIL agency. I don't exactly know what this means as a professional coach. Shouldn't you be able to use your name, image, and likeness and just have an agent to do these type of things? I mean, I understand the agency, I guess, is supposed to pool all its resources to kind of do that. But if I'm that person's agent,
the middleman,
I don't know. It's interesting for sure, and I think that if I'm a player, I may trust the NIL a little bit more if the coach has a vested interest in it too, because that's a lot of like the clutch sports things. I want to go over here where I know these guys are getting taken care of. I might feel more comfortable signing with the NIL agency.
What is interesting, the reason I say cutting the middleman out is because you've lived in Georgia. You know UGA is a big deal, especially in SEC.
Florida, I'm sure, is the same way with University of Florida. Texas as well. Coaches through the athletic department and sponsorships of the athletic department have their own advertisements. I think Kirby, the Georgia one is the Ford F-150.
They love a car
That's
dealership.
The Georgia.
They love a car dealership, boy.
Good. Nick Saban was Mercedes-Benz. I think what's the dude that was at LSU after Nick Saban? Les Miles?
Les Miles, yeah.
Les Miles was Cane's Chicken. Like, they have deals that's set up through the athletic department and through sponsorships of the athletic department that they have to do. I think what this does with Fran Brown is I ain't got to go through the athlete. I don't care. I can go do, Bubba's Barbecue, or I can go to, I don't know what Syracuse is known for. It's Canada. I can go do snowmobiles over here.
Y'all can both go get me money, and two people going to find you money is just infinitely better than one. And yeah, I'm gonna pay both of y'all. So and you keep what you kill. You get a percentage. You get a finder's fee on whatever you find for me. And as a rising Black coach, yeah, I probably need to get as much money as I can because I never know when these people might want to fire me.
Well, let's go back to basketball real quick. Sorry. Let's go back to basketball. I just saw this posted in the SplashCast versus the World. It's funny. The Bulls lost the coin flip to the Mavs for the 11th spot in the lottery. That spot jumped 10 spots to the number 1 pick.
Emotional damage. And I'm going to be petty, and I'm going to send it to my friends who are Chicago fans, and they're going to be tight. Good luck and Godspeed, not my problem.
Yep. Back to football. That blows my mind. Cam Rising. Hey, so
this is unfortunate.
Cam Rising is it unfortunate? He's good, but he's always been hurt, and he was going back for his 8th year of football. And at this point, I was like, okay, so he's there to make his money. We're never hating on anybody making their money. But I think the realization that he wasn't going to go to the NFL already said Cam Rising is medically retired.
Going back.
Yeah, he's medically retiring. He's had shoulder, neck injuries, leg, knee. Finger. He's had everything, concussions, fingers. I think his finger is taped in this picture. It's just
I really like this kid, man. And I guess this gentleman. Yeah. Tough guy. He, they've had some battles against Florida. I have a ton of respect for him. I've seen him do it. I really thought that, not the greatest quarterback prospect for the NFL, but I think on his intangibles, I think he could have possibly been a decent quarterback. To never even get to that next step, that's unfortunate. Thoughts and prayers to this guy. Utah hired this guy immediately, put him on the staff. He's been there longer than probably he's been there
quarterback coach. He is your he's your assistant quarterback coach, offensive coordinator in waiting right now. I mean, he knows everything there is to know about that program. So that is awesome.
He's been there long enough to graduate twice. Speaking of people getting out of places.
Let's get to the NFL, baby. This is what Norwood calls a poverty franchise. The Cincinnati
in the ghetto.
Where's the Nene meme? Ooh, child, the ghetto. Trey Hendrickson calls out the Bengals for no communication on when it comes to contract extensions. As you know, Trey Hendrickson led the league in sacks last year. He's been a top 5 defensive end since at least the last 3 years.
He's literally their entire defense in a nutshell. That's it.
And all he asks is for, and he's come out and said, all I ask is for communication, and I don't even have to be the highest paid defensive end. I just want to be paid respectably, and I would like to stay here. And they still have done nothing. So they didn't do anything, and they knew that Trey Hendrickson is on the last year of his contract, right? Could you go to the next one?
Wait, real quick. Before we leave, I want to say,
I want to leave. He was coming back. Go ahead.
I know, but as an Atlanta Falcons fan, it is extremely refreshing to have this Trey Hendrickson talks and to not be on pins and needles about, we have to have this guy, because we don't. That
Double
is
down.
a feeling.
Double
right.
down, Norwood. Double down.
It feels good not to be like, oh, well, we got to have. No, we don't. We don't. We surely
We got
don't.
6 of them things. We got 6
right.
of them things.
And somebody call Clown and see what he can do or can't do. But this is what Reggie was talking about here.
So and what I was saying with Hendrickson, you're correct. It is great for the Falcons not to do that. But with Hendrickson, so the Bengals, you knew that they were going to draft Shamar. They were going to draft the defensive end because you knew that you couldn't pay Hendrickson after paying T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. So they drafted Shamar Stewart and Joe Burrow. And so they drafted Shamar Stewart, first rounder. Only had 3 sacks in college, but he is combine warrior, a t-shirt All-American is what I call him. He does everything great. And he said he's playing his role, but he knows that he can get sacks if he wants to. Fine, cool. He's now holding out because there is discrepancies or there are disagreements when it comes to guaranteed money through injuries. Whereas everybody else is guaranteed money through injuries on their rookie contract, the Bengals are trying not to. And Shamar Stewart and their second round pick, who I believe is a safety, are both like, nah, I'm not signing.
Ruin yourself. Ruin yourself. I love to see people just do stupid things. That's 95% of what this podcast really is. Is, hey, let's watch stupid people do stupid things and talk about it until people gets to right. This is stupid. Your your entire defense is pissed off with you. His replacement don't trust you. What are you doing? They're
gonna outscore everybody. They're gonna score 1,000.
This is also not my problem. I love when it's other franchises doing stupid things and not mine. So
not my problem. That's the theme of the episode so far.
Not my problem. I don't know what the Bengals are gonna do. Respectfully, don't care. Congratulations on not having your rookies into rookie minicamp because the Falcons have 2 edge rushers into rookie minicamp. Y'all be blessed. And let the world.
And shout out to y'all to try to show the negative media, and then for them to come out and debunk it all within 24 hours. Like, nah, they trying to make us play with no injury guarantee.
Right. Look right here. Look right here. There it is right here. This explanation. In other crazy people news. Yeah, George Pickens has been traded
to the Cowboys. From the Steelers to the Cowboys for a 3rd and a 5th round pick in the next 2 drafts, and they get a 6th round back. How you feel about this trade? I got a lot to say about it, but I want to hear what you say first. Sneaky, I know you here.
For me, this is an interesting trade because it seems to be, I don't hate the trade. I think it was probably relatively inevitable that Pickens was going to be out of there because Steelers wide receivers don't know how to act. And with that being said, I think that Tomlin has to try to keep control of this team. And I think that typically means getting rid of your star wide receiver every time because they're always the problem. Now, I will say, I think that you should have done this pre-draft so you could backfill the position because just trading away Pickens and leaving yourself with DK Metcalf, that is not a good solution to anything. And what are y'all doing at quarterback?
No quarterback.
Right. This is, I don't know what they're doing. I sometimes get amazed that people get paid to do these jobs and do them this poorly. I don't know what these people are doing, but it sure looks stupid to me.
George Pickens was never happy in Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh's failure to address the quarterback position. I think ultimately there's a theme in everything that we say when it comes to head coach, general manager, and quarterback. If you hit your wagon to a quarterback that is not good, you will lose the locker room. We've seen it with Desmond Ridder. We've seen it with Marcus Mariota. We've seen it with somebody else we'll be talking about soon. We've also seen it with now the Steelers have no quarterback, or they're going to hitch their wagon to Aaron Rodgers, who is the franchise killer at this point. So at some point, Mike, we've been on your side, and we all for the brothers because you're an adult and you will help, but you gonna have to answer for all of your players drafting all or trading for all the players that seem to be a little off when it comes to the discipline and conduct.
Do like the white coaches do. Just leave and get
There's another side to this, though.
Just leave it somewhere. Have another black coach fix it. That's what the white coaches do.
There's another side to this, though. There's Dallas. Dallas now has George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, and they've kind of eliminated the excuses for Dak. There was Gallup was the second receiver, or whoever the other person was. I think Miles Austin was the one when he tore up his ankle. Now you have a legit deep threat, and you have a legit playmaker on both
Dallas,
sides.
Go get Nick Chubb.
You need it.
You missed on Derrick Henry. You thought he was too old. Let me tell you, in fact, not too old. This
league in rushing.
And even if it doesn't work out, it's kind of the same thing with us and edge rushers with the Falcons. I can sleep a little bit easier at night knowing that they gave it their best effort. If y'all go get Nick Chubb and it doesn't work out, people won't be that mad with you. I don't think so. And
yeah, you're right.
Sometimes there is appealing to your
they
fan
drafted
base.
They drafted 2 running backs. They drafted Blue from Texas. They drafted Phil Maffa from Clemson, and they have Rico Dowdell. And there's no place for Nick Chubb there's not a spot on the roster for him.
Oh, there is. You know what that spot is? RB1.
Somebody else's.
Right.
Whoever you think you are.
And I'll be very transparent here. Y'all might he might not be. No, let's be real here. He's the best running back on this roster. The rest of y'all better figure it out or don't figure it out. You go somewhere else. Don't matter.
And you could still do all this and lose George Pickens. He already told y'all, I am not resigning.
Or this is something else that I'm game for. Y'all can get Tyler Algier, and we will take Nick Chubb and figure it out. We surely will.
Somebody posed a question to me from Baltimore, a Baltimore Ravens fan who wants to be on the show from the world. Tyler Algier for Owe, who was the defensive end from Penn State for
sure. I'm okay with that because I don't think we're going to sign Algier. If we're not going to sign him, don't Atlanta Hawks yourself and have to just let the asset walk. So yeah, if that's what makes sense, then do that. Just don't let him go. You made 1,000-yard rusher. You made him. You found him and made him. Don't blow that. In more interesting news, specifically for us, the Carr has left the garage. He has retired.
The Carr has returned to the garage.
Fair enough. This is interesting for a lot of different reasons. Him retiring post-draft is something.
Okay, Derek Carr is retiring from the New Orleans Saints. All right, go ahead.
And I honestly don't feel like they would have drafted Shedeur even if Derek Carr retires. But him waiting until after the draft puts him in more of a conundrum. Now, another name who we just talked about, Aaron Rodgers could show up in New Orleans now. Now, I also don't think that they get salary cap relief from his contract until next year, so 2026, which in all seriousness might be best case scenario for them. You weren't going to be able to find a quarterback in this draft because the Falcons broke it a year ago. And next draft should potentially be a good quarterback draft. So you might just be kind of biding your time until you can find something better available. With that being said, I think that takes them like out of there for the season, though. They're toast, right?
Saints are toast. And I don't care what you say. There's no way that you was not going to if Derek Carr retires, you draft Shador. That's what you do. You don't, and y'all drafting Tyler Show. I don't care what y'all think. Y'all didn't think he was gonna be the starter this year. Ain't no way you thought he was gonna be the starter.
Oh no, not on day one.
Now out of it's crazy.
Now he's lucky.
Retiring.
I got a new job. Sweet.
One announcement now makes this quarterback room worse than Cleveland's. After just one announcement, because Cleveland was taking the cake as being the worst quarterback room.
This ain't worse because you still have Watson and all that money. At least after this year, he's did them a solid because he restructured that contract. They were going to be down bad for 2 or 3 more years. This is actually,
yeah.
They were second line in the street that he was gone. That money going to be freed up 2026.
Yeah,
and I think that there are going to be some quarterbacks who have not been successful who could potentially be looking for a new place. If I'm Kyler Murray, I might be ready to get out of Arizona by now. I might be ready to go on somewhere else and do something different. But once again, fantastic career to I ain't gonna say that. He was a pretty good career, I guess, for Derek Carr. 4 Pro Bowls. That
how many were ultimate?
Hey, yeah. And them Cowboys, boy, let me tell you, they had a rough go of the NFL. Chewed them up, spit them out.
Yeah, but David ain't his fault. David got sacked. He had his rookie year, he got sacked 6 times a game.
David got sacked and Derek got cracked. And either way, they both
6 times. He got sacked 85 times in a season. Do you know how crazy that is? 16 times 5 is 80.
I am slapping somebody.
That doesn't count the fact that I got hit. That's just the sack. There's
you're right. Pressure, all the rest of that. Jayden Higgins becomes the first second-round pick in NFL history to get his contract fully guaranteed, 4 years, $11.7 million. Surely interesting. I think that
where did he sign with?
That's a good question. And the answer to that is Houston Texans.
Oh, yeah, because they say he's built like Nico Collins.
Right. I think the teams want to pay guys up front first and don't be a slave to that money, because if you can get it off your books earlier, you have more flexibility later. And if it doesn't work out, you can kind of get that roster spot back.
What I've noticed with rookie contracts, and this goes all the way up to, Jalen Walker, who signed for $20 million, is this is a result of the NFLPA working with the league. They could not justify first round quarterbacks, first round talents getting 54, 56, $60 million. They also could not justify them not getting a good amount of money either. So they had to meet in the middle. What meeting in the middle is that now most rookie contracts are fully guaranteed, especially in the first round. So now that it's trickling down to the second round, what this means is even though it's a second round pick, he's still only getting $11.7 million, which means what's that? Almost $3 million against the cap per year.
Yeah,
that's fantastic for both. No matter what happens, if I'm good, bad, or I get hurt, I get life-changing money. $11 million is life-changing money. It might not be because of NIL, but for the average person, that's life-changing money.
And you're not as worried about like, oh, I got, X, Y, and Z. No, my money's guaranteed. I can just focus on football. I think you got to do that if you're a team that has kind of cemented your processes and you feel confident that you're picking the right guys, because that's a big commitment to a guy in the second round kind of early. But I like it. I hope that.
No, it's not. Well, it is. That's $3 million.
I mean, right.
We just
But
committed.
still,
a
but I
crap
mean,
ton of money.
you're right, but you could also potentially cut this guy and still be paying him $3 million. You know, I mean, some of these guys flame out. You might be paying $3 million
Who?
for 3 years. I guess
Flaming
you're
out
right.
at $3 million is not
I get,
bad.
you're right, and I get my roster spot back even if I cut you and have to give you all your money. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
$3 million. What we paying Kurt? We paying Julio to stay at home.
Man, come on, man. And then in closing, Jeremiah Owusu Koroma, he has been put on the physically and unable to play list. He will be out for the entire 25 season. Some people believe that this may be a career-threatening injury. You know, we want to send up thoughts and prayers for that. Yeah, that's tough. Cleveland has
down bad.
Cleveland got to fight the fight every day, boy. Let me tell you, all your life y'all had to fight.
If you don't know who Jeremiah Owusu Koroma is, he is the one that wears the native. He's from Africa. He's African. He wears the native dress to all of the native garments to all of the pregame. Very good player. Had a very unfortunate neck injury that just lingered and lingered and lingered. And then now it's thought to be more serious than anybody believes. The reason that this came out is because they pretty much said his career is over last week. And his representation has come back and said, nah, he's out for the rest of this year. We'll figure out what happens next year. I get it. There's also talk about that with legalities and all of those things. But, I mean, it's not looking good for him, to say the least.
Yeah, that's tough. And, hey, man, take care of yourself. You only get one neck. Only one. With that being said, I mean, I'm for real.
You're right. You're right. You're not wrong.
Hey, man. You got a long life to live, bro. But with that being said, yeah, we are coming to the end of the pod. Reg, you got anything to close us out before we get out of here?
Nah, man. Look for some Dive Team Media merch by the end of the summer. Be getting things together. I think we may have found a supplier. Shout out to our episode sponsor, the Teacher's Dance Bag. Y'all go make sure y'all like, follow, and subscribe that. If you have any daughters or sons or children that want to learn about dance or you teach dance, there is an award-winning choreographer that runs the account. Y'all go check her out. Happens to be my wife too. Yeah. So other than that, man, with that being said, Norwood, if I ain't miss anything, take us out.
And we never do. Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, once again, number one, like, follow, subscribe. We can tell y'all that nearly enough. Go hit the button, click the bell, hit the star, text it to somebody else. Let the world know. We really appreciate that. Number one, more Black baseball. Shout out to Mike Harris. Great catch again. Great catch. Number two, more Black Cowboys and Cowgirls. Y'all have taken that and run to literally the end of the earth with that. I want to say that started right here on the SplashCast, and without us, none of that could be possible. And then finally, the historically Black college university, the one your cousin went to, your auntie went to, your uncle went to, the person used to laugh and kiki in the back of church with. Send some money to that university, man. Support HBCUs. The historically Black college university in your neighborhood, the one you go for homecoming, step shows, vibes, to be around your people. Send some money over there. You're always over there eating up all the food, drinking up all the liquor. Least you could do is send some money to the school. And then finally, the greatest learning institution in all the world, the one that gave me a degree and Reggie a degree, the Hampton University. We only asking for $18.68 on behalf of the year that the university was founded, the great Hampton University. And shout out to the graduates that graduated from Hampton on Mother's Day. Congratulations.
We saw it. Y'all crying. Yep. All of those good things. Again, prayers up to Jayson Tatum, man.
Absolutely.
See that happen. Because it seems like he was going for the whole face of the league thing. They had just released that Superman commercial like 2 days ago, Jordan brand. Right. They were trying to set it up. So hopefully it was just a scary injury and it's just a strain or something, but didn't look good.
I mean, even if you have to sacrifice the rest of this season, I just don't want to see. It would be rough. They would be in trouble, and that wouldn't be good for a team changing ownership. With that being said, though, adios, mi amigos. God is love. Y'all be safe until we meet again. We out.
This show is produced by Creative Logic Solutions. Whether the project is big or small, let Creative Logic Solutions help bring your vision to life. Catch our latest episodes and stay updated with the world of sports by tuning into the podcast live on Mondays or catch the re-air on Dive Team Media Network, where you can also check out other Dive Team Media content as well. For collaboration, booking information, or any other inquiries, visit our website at www.thesplashcast.com.
Wait, hold on. What should
Until
they do?
next time.
Like, follow, subscribe. Thank you, my friend. We here for it.